Hey, everybody, we're here for a new episode of the show that has yet to be named. We're doing director discussions. Sadly, we've lost Ivan Reitman, legendary director, Ghostbusters. Like we'll go through all the movies, so I don't want to start naming it. I'm here with JD 777, and
Hello.
so we decided not what better time, but what other time to talk about Ivan Reitman.
Yeah.
So, director's discussions. Let's just get right into this. So, I guess we'll go through his filmography,
Yeah.
starting at the bottom and work our way up through the impactful movies that he's made or the ones that we remember.
Yeah.
All right. So, uh, well, we'll start off, I guess, in 1979 with Meatballs.
Meatballs.
Uh,
Classic camp comedy.
are you a fan of Meatballs?
I like Meatballs. To be personally honest, Meatballs 2 was the better film, but Meatballs was a good movie. It showed you what there was potential to be a good director there.
I think that in terms of that, I think Bill Murray is the most memorable part of that movie.
Mhm.
Like he basically carries that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's a good watch, I guess, for like a raunchy comedy that it is.
But it wasn't as raunchy though. There were a lot of other raunchier stuff in that era, like especially 79. Like that was not around the time of Porky's.
That's like around the beginning of the raunch starting. So as we went forward from there on, the raunch was present.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's
No.
I had seen it a long time ago and not remembered it, and I bought it recently and watched it, and I was like, it. But I feel like in terms of movies he's done, it stands out. Like it has a legacy, whether or not it truly deserves that,
Yeah.
but it still has it.
Well, it spawned 3 sequels, so there must have been something good about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen the sequels, so
2 was good. 2 was really good.
so
Maybe I'm just remembering it with rose-colored glasses.
yeah,
But
you might be. What comes after Meatballs?
we had Stripes, 1981 Stripes. Military, basically guys who don't want to go get drafted for the military kind of thing. It was a same thing. It's I think along the same lines as Meatballs. Like it was still like he was starting to find his footing in terms of like the not raunch comedy, more highbrow comedy.
Yeah, it does have like an element of like smarter stuff written into it rather than just pure raunch. I mean, it definitely paved the way for movies you would get later, like Sergeant Bilko. I know McHale's Navy was a show, but the movie McHale's Navy, Down Periscope, Major
Pain.
Yeah. So I mean, and the military like comedy where it's set around a guy who's in control of everything, and they have this whole secretive thing going on. This was it. And then John Candy's in it. Bill Murray,
Harold Ramis.
This movie's special for me. I love Stripes. I absolutely love Stripes. It's one of my favorite comedies, and it was in that period of when I was discovering Bill Murray.
Yeah,
because like a lot of movies, like I don't know how a lot of people watch movies, but for me, it's like I find something I like, and then I keep digging and digging and digging until I've basically seen everything.
Right.
And I remember doing that with Bill Murray and then finding Stripes and now being like, holy crap, this movie's so good. Yeah. And it's funny because him and Harold Ramis never really even got along that good, even though they were also like best friends at the same time.
And it started that great relationship with Ramis and Murray.
Murray and both of them with Reitman as well.
With Reitman, yeah. That was the start of the back-to-back-to-back trifecta of them.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll keep going along with that. Well, next you got Ghostbusters.
Classic. Like, I mean, what can be said about Ghostbusters that hasn't been said already? It's still like it's probably one of the greatest, I would say, sci-fi comedies of all time.
I will fully allow horror comedy. I know it's not scary to the point where it really belongs to be in the horror movie genre, but I think it
had its elements.
It cemented its place in terms of the capabilities from the time when they made it, and the fact that it's a go-to Halloween October watch for like everybody.
Yeah, and the thing is, it works any time of year, not just in October. You can watch that. That goes any time of year.
I'm sure if you watch this, I mean, well, you are Putty might have being 120, but
right. I was in the theaters to watch it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It must have actually been kind of scary back then to see that kind of stuff, like especially the library scene. The library scene still gets me.
Yeah, I was about 7 years old in '84, so yeah, for me that was like, the library scene, not understanding because it still had some of that raunch, so not understanding the invisible person taking off Dan Aykroyd's pants there.
I mean, was that in the actual theatrical version, or was that until later?
That was in the theatrical.
I thought that was added later.
I think it was. I was 7. I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't remember. Who cares? But you've seen the movie 100 times. Everybody has. It's an important movie in cinema culture, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess moving on from there, he took a while.
Yeah.
You had Legal Eagles. Yeah. I mean, that is
Robert
what
Redford.
It is.
Yeah. Deborah Winger.
It's not bad. I remember seeing it. It's what it is, whatever it is.
It's more of a suspense thriller kind of thing than
it was very out of his box. So at this point, you had went like comedy kind of horror movie. Then you went Meatballs, and then it got better with Stripes, and then it got better with Ghostbusters. So you were like on a trending up. Then you've got Twins.
Absolutely.
I think Twins.
That was the start of his relationship with Arnold.
Yeah, I don't want to say underrated because, I mean, I feel like it's kind of fairly rated, but it's overlooked in a way. It's not the best comedy, but it's also a movie that, like, I don't understand how a lot of people just, it goes unseen.
It was a good movie. Like, when it came out, I remember it was all the rage at the time.
Oh, of course. Danny DeVito, Arnold, Reitman.
They were the two biggest names there in Hollywood, right? So I think over time, it's not. I don't think it's. I think it's not looked as fondly as it was back then.
And a lot of modern audiences don't even know about it. And I think the combination of buddy cop, and just comedy. I mean, it's not even a buddy cop movie, but it has that vibe.
Yeah, this was also one of Arnold's first comedies too.
Yeah.
And, but he's still playing the straight man. And
originally, I don't want to say for sure, but I swear I remember hearing they wanted to do Stallone and like Eddie Murphy.
I think they did because there's this scene in Twins I remember where he's walking by the poster for Rambo 3, and he kind of does he's like that. Yeah. So I think that was a knock at that.
There's that great scene in oh my gosh, what's the movie called? Last Action Hero, where they're in the blockbuster, and he points at the Terminator poster with Sylvester Stallone on it. Yeah. But anyways, moving on.
Yes.
What's next?
Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2. We talked a lot about Ghostbusters. We talk about Ghostbusters all the time.
Not as strong as the first one, but still a good movie.
I think the comedy is there still. I just think the movie is missing. Like, it's not even that bad. I've watched it recently, and it's so enjoyable. It's such an enjoyable watch.
Oh yeah, I'll still watch it.
Oh, all the time.
If it's there, I'll watch it. It's I kind of like the concept too of the painting that came to life. Vigo, the Carpathian, and Janos.
Yeah. Anus.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good movie, man. It's not the best, but it's good. And then you got Kindergarten Cop. That's a classic.
Another classic. Yeah.
That's a classic right there.
There's
so
many quotable
sort of comedy. Yeah.
Many quotable lines.
At this point, I think this is the groove of Reitman. Like, I mean, it kind of goes away after this, but this is like the peak of his style, where you feel everything that he learned from making like Ghostbusters and stuff with like.
I would say this is where he had that. There's still some adult comedy in there, but it's more family friendly.
It is to a point, yeah. I mean, the movie's kind of gory.
It is kind of gory. There are some scenes at the beginning that can be a little frightening to children, and at the end too, when the building's on fire, with the young Jason Reitman making out with that girl in the hallway.
Lucky guy. Hey, this is my son. Just make out with him for this scene.
Yeah.
All right, shoot.
Arnold's gonna tell you the building's on fire.
Yeah. Okay, next there's Dave.
Dave.
I'm not the hugest fan of Dave, but I remember it playing on TV non-stop on TBS, so it must have been popular. You know what I mean? Like, I don't remember what the time when it came out.
I think it was just a cheap movie to get the rights to.
It might have been. Yeah, but I mean
it wasn't.
It
bad.
had a cast. It's a decent comedy. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not bad by any means.
A lot of big names in this too. Like, there were a lot of big names in this movie.
It's not a bad movie.
Kevin Kline as the president.
It's a good comedy. It's just
it
could have been better.
Not as strongest.
Yeah, not as strongest. I mean, okay, so far I don't think we've named any bad movies.
No. Every movie's
until now.
Yeah, Junior.
This is another one. See, this is crazy that like it makes me seem like I'm psychotic, but this is another movie in the list of movies that we own that I either broke or hid from my brother and sister because I hated this movie, but they always wanted to watch it.
They were trying to recreate the magic that they did with Twins, and I don't think it worked.
They should have made Twins 2 with Eddie Murphy. Triplets. So Twins 3. I would have called it Twins 3.
I would have called it Triplets. Yeah, Twins 3, Triplets.
Twins 3, semi-quackaluli.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's semi-quackaluli, but
semi-quackaluli, where he's looking for his hippie mom, right?
Yeah, there you go. Just take it.
Yeah.
6 Days and 7 Nights.
Yeah, not a comedy. In a way.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember renting it and watching it, and it was like,
not memorable.
No, I'm surprised he directed it even. Like, I don't even remember him being the director until we're looking at it right now. It even uses the same font as Junior. That's crazy. That's like they have like zero effort involved here.
It is actually.
Okay, but which leads us to our next one, and I love this movie, Evolution. I love Evolution. This is a movie for me when I was a kid. Evolution and Eight-Legged Freaks. Don't ask me why, but they combine that element of sci-fi, horror, and comedy, and like the buddy cop aspect, and it's just done well.
In a way, it's almost like Ghostbusters with aliens.
Yeah, at this point, he wanted to make another Ghostbusters, but nobody else wanted to. So he was trying to relive the magic of Ghostbusters through making Evolution.
Yeah, and I could see it. It wasn't a bad movie. I mean,
the chemistry between Orlando Jones and David Duchovny is great.
Yeah,
and Sean William Scott is a good third. Like, this is 4 people, just like Ghostbusters, right?
And the thing is, too, with David Duchovny, it was also a break in his character, too, where he was this, like, straight-laced FBI agent in the X-Files, and it allowed him to show his more comedic side, too.
Yeah, it did. And I actually found out about this recently. While shooting this movie, he turned down a role in Attack of the Clones.
Really?
Which I'm assuming he must have been like picked to be like Anakin or something, just because of the way his hair was cut at the time.
Maybe he would have been too old for Anakin.
Yeah, that's why it would have been weird, right? But I mean, like, I just looking at his face in Evolution, it looks like what's his name? Eric? No. What the hell's the guy's name who plays Anakin?
Hayden Christensen.
I want to say Eric Christensen. Hayden Christensen. They look kind of similar. It was very strange. Yeah. And but yeah, I mean, he turned down the role, and he's always wanted to be part of a Star Wars movie. So that tells you a lot that he believed in this. And I mean, it's not the best movie, but everyone tries. And I just think it's a fun time. Sometimes for comedies, you got to just allow them to be bad.
Just shut your mind off and watch it for what it is.
It's okay for a comedy to be bad as long as it makes you laugh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So moving on from that, what's next?
My super ex-girlfriend.
My super ex-girlfriend. I actually like this movie. A lot of people don't. Uma Thurman and Luke Wilson, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of fine. I just think it blows its load too early on. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this movie from 2006.
Yeah. It's almost a 20-year movie.
They break up like at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, and the whole
So
thing is her trying to not exact revenge, but make him feel sorry for breaking up with her, kind of thing.
Yeah, and the thing that's weird about it is it's just the same kind of joke goes on for the whole movie now, because you already started it at the very beginning. Like, there should have been more time to process what was happening before that. But I mean,
give him a reason to break up with her. There was no reason given, kind of thing.
It's a pretty decent comedy, like rom-com. It is what it is. Like, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
No strings attached. I don't know which one that is. Is that the one with Ashton Kutcher?
Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman.
It came out at the exact same time as Just Friends, or Friends with
Same
Benefits,
type of
whatever
idea.
It's called. Sorry, Friends with Benefits.
No, Just Friends, the Ryan Reynolds one, wasn't it?
No, it was Friends with Benefits. I don't know.
Okay.
Just Friends might have came out at this time too. Friends with Benefits was Mila Kunis and Justin Timberlake. Yeah. And it was like the exact same premise of this.
Which is funny because Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. Anyways, back to my story.
Yeah, back to the point.
I don't remember where I was going with this.
But yeah, there was the whole thing, like in that era, there was the whole thing, like having like basically casual sex with whoever you want. There
was also another movie with like Anne Hathaway and Jake Gyllenhaal that was like shortly after that too. That was like the similar.
I think there was one with Josh Duhamel too, wasn't there?
Yeah, actually, I think you're right.
And I think it was Josh Duhamel and Katherine Heigl were in one like that too.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. Anyways, like, we're getting too deep into this. Good luck, Chuck, with Jessica Alba and Dane Cook. Putty's definitely seen that.
Yes.
Yeah, at this point, like, it's what it is. It's whatever. And then Draft Day was pretty good. His last movie that he made was Draft Day. It's a pretty good movie. My dad really liked it, which is strange.
It seems like a movie your dad would like, though.
Yeah. It's Kevin Costner, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's
Jennifer Garner, too.
It's a pretty underrated movie, actually, for sports movies. I feel like it doesn't get any credit at all. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad movie. Half decent.
Then, I mean,
he was never able. I would say he peaked with maybe Kindergarten Cop.
I think, to me, Kindergarten Cop is the point where his style and his understanding of making film
he found a voice.
Peak. It's not his best movie, but that's where it's most pronounced that all of his work that he's doing is like there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would say that. But Ghostbusters is probably the best. I mean, but to be the director of Stripes and Ghostbusters and like Kindergarten Cop is like that. Just those three movies in your repertoire of comedies,
you're in the Hall of Fame.
You're already there. Not to mention everything else you've done: Twins, Meatballs, Ghostbusters 2. You know, Dave.
We haven't even touched the movies he's produced,
which are a lot. You want to go through some of them? Go ahead.
Animal House, classic comedy with John Belushi, right? Like it's and Donald Sutherland's bum.
Yeah.
Another one, and one that I've seen countless times as a kid that I shouldn't have been watching as a kid was Heavy Metal.
Heavy Metal? I forgot about Heavy Metal.
Yeah. My parents were like, it's a cartoon, go watch it. Okay.
If it wasn't for him, that movie wouldn't even have got made.
No. And killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
But and you had comedic legends lending their voice to that movie too. You had John Candy. Was it Joe Flaherty in that movie? Who else did you have in that? There was so many people like Rick Moranis,
the Reitman
Canadian icons, because everybody was Canadian.
Yeah,
you got to remind that Ivan Reitman, even though he wasn't born in Canada, he is a Canadian citizen.
Yeah, I believe he grew up in Canada, right?
Yeah.
But his work in the beginning was a lot of hand in hand with National Lampoon.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had, after that, John Landis took off, and Bill Murray took off, and Harold Ramis took off, and John Belushi took off, and it was like, these are all people that have intertwined lives now with you from you creating this, right?
Well, John Landis went on to create some classic comedies as well, but even Harold Ramis went on to direct some half decent movies too, like Harold Ramis went on to direct Orange County, which I still like.
I love Orange
It's
County.
an underrated movie.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. And then he came through with a lot of stuff with his production.
Yeah.
Beethoven, like
Space Jam.
Beethoven ended up becoming a crazy movie franchise. I think there's like 8 Beethoven movies.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, Mummy's Alive. He helped produce Mummy's Alive. You know what?
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh, did he do that?
He produced it. Yeah.
Wow, that's a horrible movie.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, Trailer Park Boys, Countdown to Liquor Day. He helped them get the first movie off the ground.
Yeah, the first movie off the ground.
That.
Yeah. I think he did didn't he do some production on like Road Trip and Old School, like those kind of raunchy.
I think so. Yeah.
Coms.
Road Trip is legendary too, man.
I remember watching that. Not Euro Trip.
Road Trip. Euro Trip is funny too, but like,
okay, Scotty doesn't know, but
yeah, a Road Trip is like. I really like Road Trip.
Road Trip was good.
DJ
Qualls, yeah.
That's it. Listen, can I just say something? I've recently watched it twice, and I remember just loving this movie when I was a kid. Me and my brother watched it so many times, and it's so poorly rated. Is the new guy with DJ Qualls. And there's so many people in the movie. The cast is crazy. Like Zoe Deschanel is like his like loser friend that hangs out with them. Right. And it's just like the whole cast is all famous people now, and it's just funny to see that.
Yeah, it's even in Road Trip, there was like quite a bit of big names.
Road Trip is full of big names. Everywhere they go is somebody famous.
Yeah, and didn't the guy from Road Trip end up directing Joker? Todd Phillips?
Yeah.
Right, so there you go.
Connections all the way through. He has a big influence. He's a very well-known director. He's been part of some of like game-changing movies.
Yeah,
he was good at his job. I mean, I don't know much more you could say. It's a big loss. It's a big loss.
It is. It's and let's hope his son can continue that legacy. He's become a decent director in his own right. Like it was not only like let's take Ghostbusters Afterlife. Say what you will about the film. It was not just a love letter to the franchise, but I think it was also a love letter and a thank you to his dad.
I will say what I will about that film. It's actually a good movie. It's better than all the Ghostbuster movies except the first one.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm very happy that he at least got to see that movie and be part of it before he passed away.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's what he wanted. He wanted to see his son take on his legacy and someone to do Ghostbusters right, and he got all of those. And
McKenna Grace was fantastic in that film,
and the send off for Harold Ramis was
perfect.
Well, yeah, perfect, and he played. I think it's
Ramis. I think it's the fact they didn't have Harold Ramis say anything that made it more impactful.
100%. That was my biggest takeaway. Was the
impact that it left.
And you expect this from Sony, that they're going to be like, make him talk, give him a voice.
No, you don't need to. No.
We'll make it Launchpad McQuack.
Launchpad McQuack. But yeah, I mean, what else can you say about Ivan Reitman? R.I.P.
Yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else either. Just R.I.P. You know.
Yeah, big loss, not only to the entertainment industry, but like I said, a Canadian icon too.
Yeah, definitely.
Does he have a star on the Canadian Walk of Fame?
If he doesn't, he's going to. Either way, I think let us know what your favorite Ivan Reitman movie is in the comments below if you've made it this far. And thank you for watching.